Hello from CNN London. I'm Monita Rajpal. This is World Report. It took more than 2 weeks of frantic negotiations, but Australia's political deadlock has finally been broken. Julia Gillard will remain as Prime Minister after winning the support of 2 key independent MPs. Her Labour Party now controls 76 seats in Parliament. That's just 2 seats more than Tony Abbott's opposition coalition. CNN's Stan Grant is in Sydney with the details.
In the end, it came down to 2 independents. They would hold...
And here on our news map, you can see the Australian elections is the top story. And this news map is linked to Google News. It gives us a snapshot of just all the headlines that are dominating the globe at this time. The bigger the letters, the more stories generated on that topic. So as we saw there, Oz PM Gillard holds on after day of drama. Another story that is attracting a lot of interest is Tony Blair's book launch there. He goes ahead, Blair Book Party to go ahead. There was thought that he might cancel his appearance at a launch, but as a result of a lot of protesters. But despite protesters and the pledge by them to disrupt the event, he has decided to go ahead with his memoirs launch party. A day of disruption and demonstration is getting underway in France. A 24-hour strike has been called by the country's labor unions. Public transport, schools and hospitals are all expected to suffer. It's all because of anger over President Sarkozy's proposed pension reform. He wants to see the retirement age pushed up to 62 from 60. Thousands are expected to take part in protest marches across the country. CNN's Jim Bitterman is in Paris, and he joins us now live with more on that. And Jim, we saw similar strikes back in May. This time around, how's the city coping? And in Paris, thank you for that. Well, let's take a look at how retirement ages are changing around the world. Germany has raised its retirement age to 67 from 65 to be phased in over the next 2 decades. Hungary is raising its retirement age from 62 to 65, with the increase hitting men a few years before women. Singapore will raise its retirement age from 62 to 65 by 2012, and Australia is planning a gradual increase in its pension age eventually to 67 for both men and women. Well, here in London, millions of commuters faced an uphill battle getting into work today. It follows a 24-hour strike by 2 workers protesting against job cuts. An Iraqi military officer and 5 civilians have been killed during a spate of bombings and shootings in Iraq. At least 21 more people were wounded by insurgents in Baghdad. The brigadier was killed while driving in the west. Iraqis are still without a government. Many are simply disgusted that they risked their lives voting only to watch politicians squabble. And for the 3rd time in as many months, a tropical cyclone has made landfall near the U.S.-Mexico border. For the very latest on Tropical Storm Hermine, we want to go to Mari Ramos at the CNN World Weather Center. Hello, Mari.
Hello, Monita. Good to see you. You know what? Yes, this is the 3rd one. We had a hurricane. First of all, that made landfall near this.
I know. Thank you very much for that. Now, underwear worn as outerwear was one of last season's catwalk trends. But if you want to try out the look in Dublin, Georgia, you could soon get into trouble. The officials there are going to ban the wearing of baggy pants and skirts. Anything more than 3 inches below the top of the hips. I'm Monita Rajpal in London. A very well-dressed Alex Thomas is up next with World Sport.